He said it as if he were doing me a favor. You've done well, but it's time for a new perspective. His words were sugar-coated dismissal. The investor's son hovered behind him, grinning with the entitlement of someone who'd bought a trophy. I returned the smile. My resignation letter was folded in my palm. Congratulations, I said, steady. Good choice. He chuckled, brittle. You can't be serious, he stammered. I was. The tiny crack in his voice, the tremor beneath his practiced assurance, was the first time I saw fear on his face. He simply didn't know yet why he should be. 5 years. That's how long I poured into Project Titan. 5 years of drained sleep, missed birthdays, lukewarm coffee, and servers humming through the night. I remember the first prototype, duct tape, desperate optimism, and a stubborn refusal to quit. He was there at the start, the CEO, reassuring me with a hand on my shoulder. We'll change the industry, he said. You and I. I believed him. Back then my aim wasn't wealth, it was legacy. Titan was supposed to prove that talent could beat pedigree, that tenacity outlived inheritance. In the end, privilege took credit anyway. The first Fisher appeared 3 months before the reveal. Meetings I wasn't invited to. Memos that conveniently never landed in my inbox. The investor's son trailing the CEO like a shadow. Then the announcement, Chief Vision Officer Michael Hastings. The same Michael who'd tanked 2 startups before his father purchased him a role at our table. When I called out the CEO, he offered that soft managerial smile, the kind that pats your head while erasing you. Don't worry, he soothed. You'll stay on the team, under new leadership. Something in me closed, not broken but silent. I didn't lash out. I watched. Silence is dangerous. People read it as surrender. In that quiet, I gathered everything, every email, every ledger entry, every NDA revision. Titan wasn't merely a product. It was an ecosystem. I'd laid its architecture, written the core, designed the encryption. I knew every hidden key. They thought replacing me would make the project theirs, but they hadn't realized I embodied Titan. My plan assembled itself patiently, with the same care I'd used building the system, slow, inevitable, cathedral-like. Step 1. Secure my claim. 6 months before the board showdown, I created a separate IP holding company, quietly registered offshore. Every original line of Titan's base code that I'd authored was owned by that entity, legally unassailable. Step 2. Reveal the rot. I planted a failsafe inside the framework, a signature embedded in the neural core. Not destructive, only illuminating. It logged unauthorized edits, financial diversions, and data manipulations enacted after they shoved me aside. Step 3. Timing. Revenge is a craft, too early is fury, too late is irrelevance. I waited. The night before the global launch, the auditorium smelled of anticipation. Reporters, investors, lights trained on the stage. The CEO glowed under the spotlights, polished and rehearsed. Project Titan represents innovation, collaboration, and the future of AI-driven systems, he intoned. I stood in the back, a guest badge pinned to my jacket. He didn't spot me at first, he was bathing in applause. Then the screen behind him hiccuped. Confusion flickered across faces. The slide flicked. Unauthorized access from the Titan mainframe, it read. The display died to black, then filled with lines of code. Timestamps, transactions, internal emails, a ledger of manipulation, redirected grants, diverted funds, reassigned authorship. My signature tag pulsed in the corner like a heart. Original architect D. Con. The room stilled. Cameras swung from him to the data. I left without a word. By dawn, every major outlet ran the story. Project Titan built on fraud. CEO accused of intellectual theft. Whistleblower exposes corruption. They labeled me a whistleblower. I let them. He appeared on screen, hollow-eyed, mouth dry, denying what the evidence shouted. The investor yanked funding within hours. Michael Hastings scrubbed his social profiles. Titan vanished from the web. I didn't obliterate them. I let the truth do that work. A week later, his email arrived with the subject line, "You ruined me." I stared, then answered simply, No, you ruined yourself. I only stripped away the silence that had shielded you. He never replied. Now, 5 months on, I keep a small office by the coast. Titan's original framework lives on under a new name, rebuilt from the ground up, clean, precise, undeniably mine. Investors ping my inbox, intrigued by the anonymous founder who turned betrayal into consequence. I avoid the cameras. Publicity isn't the point. The pleasure is private, watching an empire buckle beneath its own arrogance. People ask why I didn't sue, why I didn't wage a courtroom battle. They don't get it. Revenge isn't noise, it's calibration. The CEO taught me one last lesson: power isn't a title or a stage. It's knowing when to leave and what to leave behind. The day I handed over that resignation letter, I left him smiling, convinced he had won. Now he paces through hearings while my new venture quietly absorbs the clients he lost. Sometimes I picture him replaying that moment, the smile on my face, the rupture in his voice, the terror hiding beneath his practiced laugh. Maybe now he grasps what I meant when I said, "Great decision." Because for me, it truly was.